Hello, friends. Welcome back to Awareness for Youth with Dr. Devan Sarkar. Today's topic, as you have seen from the title, is turning poison into medicine. This is something that has been a life game changer for me, and I'm going to describe that how it is very, very, very much applicable for the life of the current youth, whether it be in India or abroad. And but to get into the topic first, before getting into the topic first, I would like to wish you guys a happy weekend and also very happy Navaratras for everyone who is there in India. People from my community, Bengalis, are going into the favorite Durga Puja of the year, and wish you all very happy Durga Puja too in the coming week. Okay, so coming back to the concept, um, I'm sure that among my audience, those who follow Soka Gakkai or Nichiren Buddhism already know about this concept quite a lot. But this concept, in fact, can be a game changer in your life. The concept of changing poison into medicine is somewhat akin to the concept of what does not kill you makes you stronger. And I bring this topic up because there has been recent uproars in the social media as well in the corporate circuit, because lately CA Anna Sebastian, who was an employee at EY, um, her health got deteriorated and she eventually died because of immense work pressure. Similarly, someone in an HDFC bank also died very recently, and also someone from Bajaj Finance, a manager from Bajaj Finance, due to very toxic work culture and huge amount of pressure of meeting targets, she committed suicide pretty recently. So where are we going at if this is the condition of people in the country? Here, first of all, I will not directly go ahead and bash the government and the corporate first. Every individual have their own individual tolerance limits of pressure. Let's first acknowledge that not everyone is meant for immense pressure tolerance. There are people who are inherently, I would not say the word weak, but they can really deliver you work under tremendous amount of pressure, whereas there are some people who cannot handle too much amount of pressure and they will fumble and they will go into a fix or go into circles rather than getting to the destination if you apply too much pressure on them. But unfortunately, the management, when it comes to the management who are not really compassionate, empathetic to their employees, they have only one methodology for getting their yields out or the result out, that is applying pressure. That is where I will get at, go, try to address. The second thing is, I think it's a very important thing that uh, you know kind of reflects how the government's attitude is towards this sort of things. And I specifically mean Indian government's perspective, because where finance minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharamanji mentioned about how divinity can teaching about divinity can actually make people internally strong and help them um, you know um succumb not to succumb to work pressure that much. So first of all, I think here we have to take a pause, reflect back on us, and see that where is the root cause lying. And the root cause is very much distributed. So I will start with the first component, which is luck. Each one of us have a definite finite amount of luck which can be used by us in certain sectors of life. Not everyone is lucky in all the aspects of life. And this should be noted and be fixated in our minds that our luck will work in certain areas of life, but not in every area of life. Those who are not struggling at work might be struggling elsewhere, maybe with health, maybe with relationships, maybe with any other aspects of life, like not having enough connectivities, or not having enough friends. Several types of issues can be there. Some are even struggling with health. So let's take for example, the Ambanis have a lot of money, they have thriving businesses, but if you see Mr. Anand Ambani ji, you will see that there is some amount of health component that is also disturbing him. He has hormonal issues that would be disturbing him. So, but at least he has the luxury of having a steady wealth at the moment, where he is not under immediate stress, or like his father has been able to provide him with such provisions, which lets him try to achieve his own dreams, try to fulfill his own, self-motivated projects, which most of us all over the world will not get to do, because we will probably either not be getting the platform to do that, or we will probably not get to choose it because of other factors or other reasons. So we have to first acknowledge the component of luck. Similarly, if you see the examples of Elon Musk, he is the richest man in the world, but he has a very, very dysfunctional life with respect to the family life. Similarly, Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates have also undergone divorces. So you cannot say that they have the ideal family life. Now, people who succumb to such pressures in a corporate environment need to understand that the reason that they are in corporate is primarily because of money. But apart from money, there is a very important component of uh, living a healthy and happy life. People have corroborated, or they have sort of created a parallel between earning money and life, because and living happily, because um, money can buy so many other stuff, like trips to foreign, or maybe fancy gadgets, expensive outings, and so much so on, that people are sort of in this sort of feeling that only by earning more money and earning these sort of extraneous things can only we be happy, because we have been fed aspirations. People who were living in this world few decades ago, not few years, they had their own struggles, but you will see that many of those families have grown out from very happy mindsets. Their parents have actually worked, like for the middle class, their parents might have worked in factories where they had to put out this shed their sweat from morning to the evening, and then get back home with whatever money they could earn. There was low income, but still there was unity as a family, and still there was some sort of happiness in the sense of belonging. These days, our sense of belongings, I'm not saying for all, our sense of belongings mostly associate to material things. And if we get those material things, we become happy. That's another thing that is kind of bothersome, because of the consumerism culture that has grown up amongst us. It has come from the West to some extent, but it has percolated in our own lives. We see those people showing up their luxurious life, either be it on Instagram, Facebook, God knows what all other platforms have come up with threads and many other things. But yeah, every one of those things give people more and more aspirations, and that is why they are running behind the money machine. And don't forget, corporates are also money mending machines. Their ultimate goal is to make more money through their business. And let's just think straight. If you were running the business, would you not want to make more money as you invest more time and energy and effort into the business? If you are employing someone at, let's say, 10 rupees, would you not want them to give you the value of at least 20 or 50 rupees? It's not illogical to expect that for a business. Even if you are a small entrepreneur, you would expect someone to derive value for you when you give them some employment. And that is why most people, when they do dan, that dan means basically donations and everything, they also think that, oh, I am doing some sort of virtue and probably this will give me some benefit in the shorter term or the longer term. And that, if not any benefits, it sometimes, or in most of the times, would probably be boosting their ego, because at that point they feel like kings who can actually, from whatever they have, they are able to give something away and still be just okay with it. That's the power that you feel with donations. Now, shifting gears, it's important to realize that in India, a narrative of hard work that has come ever since the NDA government has come into power from 2014, like all the hard work narrative and everything has, like 16, 18 hours a day kind of thing has been really really been strengthened. But what it does not take into account is that what sort of impact it is having on the people who are doing it. Some people will adapt to that pressure and still be okay. Some people will adapt to it with some amount of residual trauma. And some, and maybe a very small portion of people, will not be able to cope up with it, either quit or go the sideways, where they will either injuriously affect their health and they will die away. And another option is that they will not be able to succumb to pressure and commit suicide. Unfortunately, these things are extremely hard for people like us, who are analyzing, or like the normal people who are basically listening to this sort of news and basically feeling the negativity inside us, that, oh, people are dying out of work pressure. But if you think, farmers were also committing suicides because they were not being able to provide for their family. That's a family pressure, or a pressure of responsibility. That was not exactly pressure from any corporate, right? Um, some people have very toxic family life. They also have committed suicide. So in that case also, it's not that it's the work culture that has affected them. But here we want to make an insulated safe space for people at work, which would enable them to feel empowered at work, at least, because government or corporates at least cannot go to the home to solve problems. They cannot go into health level or relationship level things, but they can at least make the place where people are working sort of amicable. That is the goal, is it not? But the problem is that India is a hugely populous country, and they can um, offer as little money as possible. But because people are in dearth of money, especially the lower income class is in dearth of money, they will do work at whatever cost is said. And if you have read about CA Anna Sebastian, she was a very growth hungry individual. And what happens to them at times is that they forget about their own health or own interest in terms of reaching the peak, and that can be deliriously bad, and sort of, you can say, it can put them in the path towards their end. Now, Indians as a whole have been experiencing this kind of a pressure from very early on in their life, where they had to prepare for admission tests to get into primary schools, and sometime they were appearing for three entrance exams before even reaching the end of high school. And this has prepared many of them to some extent to undergo pressures, and that is why all over the world many Indians have succeeded and become very high earning individuals. But we cannot always look at the top and just be enamored by the survivorship bias, right? We have to look at the base rate also. There is a lot many number of people who just remain in that bottom of the curve, and that is a real situation which people should be really bothered about, and that is where governments actually need to come in and help work things out. And so I have some solutions suggested right here, and I would really want to go through them one by one. First set of suggestions is for individuals. So individuals, you have to first look into your diet. Make sure you are having a proper healthy diet. You are not living on junks and fast food. That is number one. See that while working, your hygiene, personal hygiene, is being kept intact. It is not like moderate is still okay, but it should not be poor hygiene. The third point here is that your physiological parameters, such as your hormones, are in correct level, your BP, blood sugar, etc., should be spick and span. It should not go abnormal. If anything is going abnormal, you might be close to calling a shot on to save your own life rather than your aspirations. Your life is more important than your aspirations. For some people, aspirations can be a lot important, but again and again, your life is the most important thing, not your aspirations as much. If you die, you lose it all. And lastly, you have to look into your happiness quotient. Are you happy? Are you even moderately happy where you are working, how you are working? Sometimes we do have family responsibilities, and we wish that, you know, they're under different sort of circumstances. We would have a different sort of a more relaxed situation, or you could be in a different kind of a job. You hate the job, but you still are there in it. But the happiness component should come from something, at least your family, at least the money, or the job, or any other thing. Your health should give you that happiness which you deserve. Happiness is something everyone deserves, there is no doubt about it. What can government do? So government at this point of time can bring in at least a right to disconnect bill, like many other European countries, and even countries like Australia have it, where you can basically say that beyond the working hours, or maybe maximum 1 hour extra, you cannot connect with the employee anymore, and you cannot push them to work extra hours just because you have hired them at a particular salary. Sometimes very high earning individuals are sometimes pushed to that limit, but if they have only agreed to those terms and conditions, I think they can be asked to do that, not pushed to do that, but asked to do that. And if someone does not have the um, uh, you know if someone is not performing up to the mark, then go through the official channel, go through the procedure of either reducing their workload and hire someone in their place who will share that responsibility, or you can, or the corporate can probably get rid of them and do something. But yes, the government needs to bring a right to disconnect bill to help the middle class people who are going for these jobs, and help them live a happier life, a more relaxed life, because relaxation is really, really going away from the middle class, because the incentives that government give are for the poor class, or tax cuts to the rich. Middle class gets bashed each and every year with every single budget. There is nothing for the middle class, hardly anything for the middle class. The last point that I want to say to the corporates: man, behave like what you be behaving in the European countries or the Australian countries, okay? Don't think that just because you have opened your shop at in India, you can make it make the people over there feel like sweatshops. And just because there is too much competition and everyone is, you know, um, trying to join your firm for the high pay, you know that you are earning way more for whatever amount of money you are giving them. So stop treating Indians like people in the sweatshops. Okay. Now, I would be ending with few very important points that life in life. What you need to remember is that the most important thing is your life itself. Your happiness is the most important thing, and even if you have all the money in the world, after a point of money, it has been statistically shown, scientifically shown, that beyond a point of money there is no extra happiness that you can gain from it. It's only a it's only a game of increasing your net worth. Yes, sometimes you want to chase and achieve those dreams earlier on, but not at the cost of your health and life. While I say this, I also know that because there are factors of psychology, of human nature, my message will not reach everyone in the same flavor. Some people can make use of it and, you know, take the crucial decision when it is necessary, or better prepare themselves to take on the pressure. And some people would um, still succumb to the pressure and not be able to tackle it nicely enough. But always remember this important point of turning poison into medicine. Sometimes, if poisons are taken in slow and very small quantities, you can develop immunity against it, and you will become an living antidote of it. Number one. And that poison, when it starts affecting you anymore, it becomes like a medicine that actually takes your life one step up. You were at this level, and those hardships and those poisons of life have taken you up to this level. And that is very, very, very important in life, to learn how to tackle pressure. But do make a call, a judgment call, that at what level this pressure is too much for you to tolerate, and when to call the shots where you want to end that venture at a particular job, or you, even if it is a particular entrance exam pressure or a particular, course pressure. Everyone have different thresholds. Try to push yourself. And if divinity, if religious practices, if your own human revolution really helps you, then go for it. Try to do it. And I believe, like, because I have been a practitioner of Nichiren Buddhism for so long, almost 10 years now, I truly believe that people who have come to this practice have really transformed their life a lot. Even they struggle to today also, but they have transformed their core negative tendencies, and they have risen, if not up till here, they have risen up from here to at least here. And yeah, if you want to get to know more, you can check out what Soka Gakkai is. And there is a big enough organization in India, but I am not really speaking in those lines to promote it. But I am saying that you have to find solutions for your own suffering, and you have to come out of whatever the world and the environment is throwing at you. You have to take the nourishment and throw out the garbage. That's our mission. Our mission is to live a happy, fulfilling life. On that note, I would like to finish this video because it has been quite a long video by itself. And I wish everyone once again happy Navratras, and hope everyone have a very nice autumn up ahead. Also, please do share, subscribe, and write. Give a like if you like this video. I genuinely hope that you would like it, and also please share among your friends who you feel that needs to listen to this, and do feel free to watch this video at 1.5x, because I do not have a script ready or something. I try to speak my mind out with all of the thoughts just written down with me in points. I really hope that this has been helpful, and I hope you all the best. Please write in a comment, please like the video. Thank you so much. Bye bye, take care.